This is going to be a harsher version of a conversation that I have with clients regularly, and a chat I wish someone probably had with me maybe 10 years ago. This idea came to me this morning when I was at the gym and I was watching these people on the treadmill, and these are people who their only form of moving their body is chasing the dopamine and adrenaline hit that they get out of working really hard. And I think that it's amazing if you have cardiovascular fitness as part of your training routine. But when the only thing that you're chasing is this chemical high or this emotional high that you get from feeling like you've done something hard, but you're not necessarily working towards something greater, it hit me that I don't see these people trying to improve what they are capable of. They're not trying to improve their limits. They're not trying to get stronger in their mind, in their body. I think it's great as a foundation, but I wanted to explore today what it would look like for someone like that to move into a place of becoming someone that is capable of more. There's definitely a difference between those running from something and having an anti-vision, it's called, and running from a place that they don't want to be, or running from the person that they used to be, versus those running towards something and those with a vision running towards something greater. And I think at different points in our life, we need both. A deep sense of hating where you are right now is a really good source of fuel. But if all you do is hate yourself, then you're just going to feel like you're escaping. And if all you ever did was love yourself, maybe you might not have as much fuel in the tank to drive yourself away from something in the other direction. So it's kind of like you've got this motivation about the things that you don't want to be, but then you have to be able to put that fuel, that energy into a direction while having a vision somewhere where you're going. But there's an important balance and an important shift that I think people need to understand better, because it is almost like you need to swap engines and swap the fuel source that you've been using your entire life from a non-renewable, probably not coming from the right place energy source into a renewable, self-powered engine. And that's this shift of this self-dislike or even this self-hatred, if it's strong enough, into a curiosity about what you are truly capable of. But if you're still in that space, I see you, I hear you, I have been there, but the chances are that danger is gone. One of my favorite sayings is that if you have room to breathe and if you can breathe, then you are alive. And if you're alive, then right now you are okay. And everything outside of that is just noise that we create, whether it be a sense of responsibility, a sense of purpose, it's just noise in our head. But if we can breathe, then we are okay. And this shift doesn't just happen. Now, I'm not naively saying you start here and you move into your best self, but it's the acknowledgement that the driving force behind you trying to move away from this place, that driving force is that you want to become something greater. And so therefore you are acknowledging that you have the potential to be greater. And it's what you're trying to do, whether you realize it or not. I mean, just think about the people that you look up to. They're probably not people yapping about their demons. They're probably people that are exploring the limits of their own potential. And that's probably why we admire them, because it's not about what they can do right now. It's about the tenacity that they show while figuring out who they could become if they never gave up. And that's it, right fucking there. And maybe they did start with, I don't want to be here. And I get it, I've been there too. It's a hell of a motivator, but I think it's so important that you don't get lost running away from this place so fast and so hard that you forget to acknowledge how far you've come. And maybe even taking a moment to think maybe you're someone that deserves to work towards their limitless potential as well. And that whole limitless potential thing, it sounds a bit overwhelming. It sounds like a lot the first time I really started to think about it. But here's the truth of it. Dreaming and envisioning your future is a skill. I wasn't inherently born with the ability to just visualize where I wanted to be for the rest of my life. But the ability to dream that anything is possible is a skill that you can build. But we get better at envisioning a greater future when we practice envisioning and working towards something greater than we are right now. I don't think anyone is born with that skill of visualization, but it's a skill that you can build just like any other. And I continue to build it each and every week. I mean, me from 10 years ago wouldn't believe that I'm putting a video up on YouTube. But there's a part of me that never used to believe in myself that has realized that every time I take on something tough, if it's evidence that maybe I'm someone worth believing into. And it has to start there, because if you don't believe in yourself, how can you expect others to either? So here's the kicker for this one. Stop living like you hate yourself. Maybe once that mindset did serve you, but I know that the right person will hear this and know that it's the time to go after something bigger than they ever have before. Set a goal that seems completely unreachable and set sail. Let go of the result and just trust that who you become on that journey, that is the goal that you're actually chasing. Don't set the goal out of selfishness, but to inspire others. Because when you start to own your story, it's the permission other people need to own theirs too. And at the end of the day, the only real wisdom that we have to share with people are about the stories that we've learned and discovered that changed who we are. And I guess this was just one of my stories that I've learned that I wanted to share today. But that's it for now. So if you enjoyed that, like, subscribe. I'd love to hear your story in the comments. I'll catch you in the next one.